Sup guys, I'm back and today I'm doing another movie review. Today I am reviewing the finale of the Heisei era, Godzilla vs. Destoroyah from 1995. Yes, and now this movie has officially become my favorite movie of the Heisei era and is now in my top 3 Godzilla movies. What? It's crazy. Guys, I fell in love with this movie. Maybe because Destoroyah is in it, and Destoroyah is my all-time favorite monster, but this movie, guys, is just so good. I mean, I cannot find a Godzilla fan out there that does not like this movie. I just love this movie. This movie's amazing. So yeah, as you can tell, I am super excited to do this review for you guys. So yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into this review. So basically, guys, in this movie, when we first see Godzilla, there's something wrong with him. Just something little. Godzilla has these burning patches, and his atomic breath is the spiral ray now. So what's going on with him? Well, it turns out that his heart is actually a nuclear reactor, and he's absorbed too much radiation, and he's going to melt down, and it's going to create a crater in the earth, and it's just going to destroy the world, and it's going to be bad. And it's going to be like worse than all nuclear weapons combined going off at once. So, yeah. And also, there's this one doctor in this movie who's experimenting with micro-oxygen. Excuse me. He is basically going down the same path as Dr. Serizawa did with the original movie. Which, a thing that I love about this movie is that it has so many connections to 1954. It's awesome, and even brings back the actor for Emiko. It brings back the character Emiko from the original one. It's awesome. This movie, guys, is so awesome. So yeah, Emiko is very does not want this doctor to keep experimenting with it because it's very similar to what Dr. Serizawa did. So but then there's like this one underwater tunnel underneath Tokyo Bay, and of course in Tokyo Bay is where the oxygen destroyer went off, and the scientist was collecting dirt samples from the bay, and excuse me, he finds this he has these dirt samples, and there is something alive in one of the dirt samples, and it got into the aquarium in Japan and in Tokyo, excuse me, and it looked like the water was starting to eat away at the fish, which is kind of what the oxygen destroyer did. So they find out that it's a little creature from the Precambrian era, about a couple billion years ago, and it was enhanced. It was like, I don't know what's the word you call it, but it was enhanced by the oxygen destroyer, which I love about this movie. And of course, that creates the monster Destoroyah. And there's many stages of Destoroyah. There's the crab form, the flying form, the aggregate form, and then there's the perfect form. So first we see the aggregate form, and they're attacking not the aggregate form. What am I talking about? We see the crab form, the smallest of them, attacking like the Japanese military. And Destoroyah, as many of you know, is my favorite all-time monster besides Godzilla. But then we learned that Destoroyah is weak to extremely low temperatures. So the army uses freezer cannons against the small little crab forms. But they start to combine, and it creates the aggregate form. And the aggregate form can change into the flying form whenever it wants. And the flying form can change into the aggregate form anytime it wants. And also, who comes back in this movie? The little Godzilla, but he's not so little anymore. They call him Godzilla Jr. He's bigger, he's green, and kind of his dorsal spine's kind of like a little weird, a little small. So, yeah, Godzilla Jr. fights to destroy aggregate form, and the plan is, since also a big thing is that Godzilla, they can't use conventional weapons against Godzilla, especially this Godzilla, because they say it'd be like lighting a tinderbox. Like, they may set off the meltdown. It may start the meltdown. So, what they use in this movie, which I love the vehicle, the Super X3, it uses non-explosive firearms. It uses freezer weapons, which is very useful against Godzilla. So, get that out of the way. So also what they plan to do is they plan to lure Godzilla. And by the way, Godzilla is following the baby Godzilla, following Junior. So what they do is they plan to get Godzilla to fight Destoroyah because they say that's the only thing out there that's capable of killing Godzilla. Hence, it was technically created by the Oxygen Destroyer. So Junior fights the aggregate form of Destoroyah, and Junior wins. Destoroyah flies into a building, and he basically is presumed dead. So then we see Godzilla and Junior. They're in the same city. It looks like it's gonna be a happy ending, but no. Destoroyah comes out of the building that he crashed into his perfect form, which he looks like the devil. And this is, again, I don't know how many times I have to stress this. This is my favorite monster in the entire Godzilla saga besides Godzilla. Because he's literally Godzilla's demon. He looks like the devil, and he was created from the thing that, that killed the original Godzilla, which I love. That's amazing origins right there. So, a sad scene in this movie, and also this is the movie where Godzilla dies. So, a sad scene in this movie is Destoroyah gets Junior, picks him up, and he drops him in a building, and he just blasts him with his micro-oxygen beam. It's a very sad scene. So then Godzilla and Destoroyah battle it out, and Destoroyah is actually a pretty tough match for Godzilla, especially Godzilla in his burning stage. I consider this the most powerful creature in the Heisei era because I don't think Super Mega Godzilla or Space Godzilla will be able to stand a chance against burning Godzilla. Destoroyah was able to stand a chance against burning Godzilla, even though he technically was defeated. But Destoroyah actually wasn't defeated by Godzilla in this movie. They used the freezer weapons against Destoroyah, and as you know, Destoroyah is weak to extremely low temperatures. Destoroyah flies up in the air, they shoot the lasers at him, and he just comes crashing down. But I would have liked this, well actually I'm going to say that for a little later, but then the saddest moment in the Godzilla franchise happens. And what they're actually able to do is they create a plan to reduce the meltdown, to contain it, which is they have to shoot all their freezer weapons at once when Godzilla hits 1,200 degrees Celsius. So they shoot them all at once, and Godzilla, you see his skin come off. It's the saddest scene in all the Godzilla movies out there. You see his skin pop off, and the music that's happening in the background almost wants to make you shed a tear. And Godzilla, his chest is stuff comes out of his chest, and then just goes bleh. And it's sad. But, well, actually, a little before that. So, Godzilla, the radiation has left Tokyo completely uninhabitable. But, and they're all these bright lights. But, all of a sudden, the meters that they have, the radiation levels are starting to go down. And they're wondering why. And in the distance, we see another Godzilla. And you're wondering how. Well, Junior, he absorbed Godzilla's excess radiation, and Junior has become a full adult Godzilla. So, yeah, that's basically the movie, you guys. It's an amazing movie. So, yeah, guys, I enjoy this movie so much. Again, like I said, it is now in my top 3 Godzilla movies. It is now my favorite movie in the Heisei era. Even though the 84 design is my favorite Godzilla design, this is just a better movie than the 84 movie, at least in my opinion. Now, I would have liked this movie better. This may have been my favorite #1 movie if the ending, because there was an alternate ending to this movie. The alternate ending was that Destoroyah survived his fall, and Godzilla was able to defeat Destoroyah, by hand, and it was. I saw the alternate ending when it was still on YouTube, but unfortunately it got taken down. But yeah, I would have liked it better if they used the alternate ending. It's unfortunate that we cannot find it anywhere anymore. And also, Destoroyah was actually supposed to have a chest beam to come out in that final alternate ending that he used against Godzilla. That would have been really, really cool. But the ending of this movie is alright. But again, I would have liked this movie more if they used the alternate ending. But nonetheless, guys, this movie is amazing. If you're a Godzilla fan and you have not checked this movie out, you need to check this movie out. So yeah, the next movie we're going to be Oh no. Oh God. Not that movie. We're going from one of my favorite Godzilla movies to my least favorite Godzilla movie. Dang it. Well, guys, make sure to follow me on Instagram. You know, my username is in the description below. Oh my Godzilla 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.